So how do we manage our stress levels? I am following on from Module 1 and 2. We covered the impact of stress on us as individuals and organizations. We also discussed the 3 stages of stress, such as the alarm stage, resistance stage, and also the exhaustion stage. And in Module 2, we identified that there are 4 stress levels and that we must strive being in productive stress level. Today's presentation, I will go through some tools of how to manage your stress levels more effectively. So, how do I manage stress in the workplace? And can we eradicate stress completely? You will never altogether remove stress from your life, but the first thing is to remember to identify and manage the stress to help maintain a positive and healthy lifestyle. So what is the ideal stress zone? Let's look at Professor Seeley's model. You get the calm zone, eustress zone, distress zone, and exhaustion zone. As mentioned in Module 2, the part where we start losing performance due to more stimulation is called distress. That's the red arrow. So while the rightmost part of the graph is known as extreme distress or burnout. So one of the most crucial stress management skills is recognizing where you are on this graph and how you can get back to that eustress zone or the productivity zone. So what happens if you think you are in the productive or eustress zone, but you feel distressed? That's the first cue of you knowing you are then needing to change things. That's when you start losing momentum and are pushed into the distress zone or the red arrow. So what happens in our bodies? When stress presents itself, high lactic acid levels causes discomfort, such as anxiety attacks or panic attacks or anger outbursts. Now, supposedly you have too much of this high lactic acid presenting itself in your body. In that case, the genes related to chronic inflammatory responses get switched off, which contribute to heart palpitations, perhaps disease, heart disease, inflammatory bowel disease, and diabetes. Well, are there tools to help manage stress? Yes. I call it the 3 A's. Firstly, alter our behavior. Secondly, avoid the stressor. And thirdly, accept the situation. The first A, think of something positive, so be solution orientated. Instead of saying a negative statement such as, I hate my job or something's awful, end the sentence in a solution. If I feel this way might help. So if I say, I hate my job, say the job is challenging, and maybe if I take a bit of more rest or go to sleep earlier, that will change. So immediately you're doing an active task. So this will help you release those endorphins in your brain and create a positive attitude. So that's called a creative or unique action. So altering stress is one of the most positive steps you can take. So when you control the situation and change it to something less stressful, that means you're then taking power into your own hands by not letting that case dictate your actions. So then you become in control of your environment, and the environment is not so much in control of you. So what's the second A? It stands for avoid. So a simple example would be if eating eggs in the office causes you stress and embarrassment at work, just don't eat it. Choices are really important. What you do, there will always be some reaction to it. So this A deals with that, identifying the simple things and getting rid of it. However, if you need to go to the doctor, a word of caution, it's not just one of those excuses then of, I will not go to the doctor because that's uncomfortable for me. That's when you do need to use that as your acceptance, which is the next one. Another tool that could fall into this category is a very positive, robust tool. And that will help you become more assertive. And that's a positive no instead of a negative no. So if somebody comes up to you and give you more and more tasks, it's best to say, I am busy right now. Can I get back to it maybe in 5 minutes' time or whenever? And work with a specific time that's suitable for you and the company. Now, this tool is helping you create that new thinking and let people respect your boundaries. Now, the third A is to accept the situation. Benjamin Franklin once said, in this world, nothing can be said to be more certain than death and taxes. Our last but not least A will help us manage the things that cannot be changed. Our third A will help us handle the things that need to be completed, even if we like it or not. So the best thing to do in this case is to accept the situation and to be optimistic about it. Make the best out of that situation. The third A is all about handling the situation that are not in our control, but making our lives less stressful. So someone else is trying to make your life less stressful by putting that thing in place. We can also use some techniques from the first A to alter our attitude towards a problem and make it less stressful. So let's think of some creative, effective actions we can take in addition to the 3 A's: diet, sleep, and exercise. So the 3 building blocks for making a low-stress life possible is diet, sleep, and exercise. So take for an example this idea. An average person needs at least 7 hours of sleep daily, but imagine they sleep for only 6 hours. 1 hour might not sound like a big difference, but over a year, that's about 230 hours of sleep you've lost. That's valuable recovery for your body. It's the same as not sleeping for almost 10 days a year. So sleep and exercise play an essential role in reducing stress by relaxing our bodies and getting those cells to make themselves available for us to heal. Some other benefits of regular exercise are to stay physically strong and active. And it's also time where you can spend with yourself if you feel that there's too many things around you. So it's a good excuse to say, I'm going for a run or I'm going for a walk. It's when you escape to yourself and your good zone. And in turn, it then helps you think clearly, and it helps you to manage those harmful effects of stress. It also helps us with our emotions because we then think about it in our own spare time when we do exercise. It also helps us manage our anger and frustration better because then there's an outlet. It can give you that time. So in conclusion, if you're feeling a lot more stressed and hopeless at times, it's maybe not due to some external source or even bad luck, but instead it could be due to your stress management strategy or lack thereof. The problem is not the stress itself, but the way you approach and handle the stressful situation. So by adopting a successful and sustainable design, you can reduce your stress levels and their adverse effects in your everyday life. Let me give you an example you can ponder on for the end of this presentation. Imagine you play rugby and the ball is the stressor. You have to play that ball, and you can only win the game if you have the best strategy to get the ball to the other side to release those happy endorphins and fun in your life. See stress as the same thing. Don't let the ball or the stressor manage you. You have to manage that ball. Take care.